not really nervous till I'm getting strapped in and I'm by myself in the car, and then it starts to get to me a little bit.
Previously on the $10,000 drag shootout.
We'll get a little data from it, hopefully.
Let's just go break the beams in the street.
And I have no choice but to disqualify.
What would you do if I gave you $10,000 to build the quickest drag car possible in only 10 days? 4 teams, 1 race, 1 winner.
I may be out of my element, but he's out of his league.
If you're gonna play the game, you gotta play chess, not checkers.
Man, that looks cheated up to me.
Win the motherfucking race!
That's not gonna work.
Bank's still open. You just might not want to go through that drive-thru.
That thing sounded like a weak.
Villain Squad just stole their car. It's actually technically not their car. The production currently has a pink slip. So they just took an unregistered race car on a public road.
So you weren't ready, you missed the qualifier, you're out. We'll see you tomorrow. There's 2 more qualifiers left. So then they get really upset, emotions get a hold of them. They said, we're gonna make a run anyway. Well, not down the racetrack. So then they decide to go out on the main highway and make a couple rips. They're unregistered, they're untitled. It's not their cars. It's Horsepower Wars cars. You're here to win it. And I have no choice but to disqualify. And so it does. It puts me in a bad position to be able to have to come tell you that, that it's done. I mean, come on, man.
Talk to all the guys. Listen, you talk to all the guys. See what they want to do. If they're cool with that, I'm cool with that. I'll take full responsibility for it. You guys have been busting ass money. We're here hunting parts that still didn't get here. Whatever they want to do, I'm all right with that. I take full responsibility. But don't do that to my guys. Don't do that to my guys, man. They come too far. Y'all know this.
Let me get them all together and we're busy.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Those guys come here, bust their ass. Obviously, there's a whole team involved, not just the team leader. So then emotions get the best of them, and they decide to haul ass out the gate and make a hit. Test hit, whatever. I thought they were going down the return road, which would have been fine. If this group decides that no, they have been busting their ass. Emotions got the best of them, they made a bad decision.
It's been a long 10 days. I think they should honestly just let that.
So is there some type of penalty that they can take for that? To make it good?
Obviously, I mean, if you're asking me personally, them dudes been penalized since they walked in the door.
Agreed.
They're gonna walk around, act like, woe is me, not do it, when all of us are busting ass. And let me tell you, I like those guys. They are nice guys. But if my friend's doing something wrong, I'm gonna tell them right now you're doing something wrong. They're gonna bash your sponsors who make this possible. They're gonna go out there and make a hit on the street, which I've been dying to do since I got here.
We asked about it.
Exactly.
I didn't ask.
Exactly. But I want them to race. I'm just saying. They need to get their shit together.
4 cars.
You're making the show.
We want 4 cars, yeah. 4-car ladder. 3 cars is a crappy ladder.
Yeah, they're on you guys.
Show.
Enough for the victim. Enough for the victim.
Let's do this.
Pull your big boy pants up and race.
The deal is that obviously from my position,
I understand.
that's what I had to do.
I understand. That's what I said.
And it was unanimous that you guys have been busting your ass, and all these guys support what you guys are doing. And so
I'm gonna go and thank each and every one of you guys right now personally.
yeah, and let your team know that all's good, no problem.
I guess we're back in. To me, that took way too long to think about something like that. But it is a TV show.
It was another Friday. I was gonna clock out of work early and we got that phone call. You can never be ready for something like that, but you just gotta pick up the call and run with it. These guys that I brought, they are cold and calculating at what they do. And they're crazy enough to get here with 3 days notice. They're like, you guys are crazy, you're suicidal. But the main thing is you gotta tune for that road. And if you're gonna shy away from a challenge, then what are you doing in life? I honestly get bored in life. If I'm not challenged, I gotta move on to something new. And that's what no prep is. It's gonna push you, it's gonna challenge you. It'll push you to the point where either you're gonna succeed or it'll break you.
The teams only have 2 qualifiers left, and they head straight into eliminations. If you don't have your car dialed in by now, you're running out of time.
So Homegrown has been thrashing all night to try and figure out a motor, whether they're going to use their old one, you know, pieces of it, or whether they're going to go for a new one, and they ended up picking up a 5.3 and they're going stock bottom end.
We thrashed all night, had to go get another motor.
We located one late last night, which was not exactly what we were wanting, but it was a pretty decent deal. Put the thing back together, put our mandrel and all our stuff back on it, and at 2:30 this morning, we finished the motor. My dad, Brett, and David were hard at it, and before 9 o'clock, we had it running again and spooling.
322. She's alive. This will be the first round of qualifying where we have 4 freaking cars. How awesome would that be? Impact wanted to make sure everybody was safe, and so they provided their multiple layer fire suits. The helmets actually have like built-in head socks and adjustable cheek pads, and be tailored to fit just about anybody. First up for this qualifying round, Villain Squad. He wasn't getting too crazy, obviously. Wasn't putting on the brake, wasn't getting carried away. It's the first pass. That was a pretty smooth move on his part. This is the moment of truth for them. They thrashed all night and swapped in a stock bottom end 5.3. I think they put their cam and stuff in, but it's a totally different motor. This is the moment of truth right here, though.
We didn't want to step on it too hard, but we didn't want to step on it too little.
Up next is out in front with their SN95 Mustang 5.3 turbo. Curious to see what they do. They've definitely been getting after it. That Mustang looks like it's a handful to drive down the track. All right, 110 mile per hour. That's high mile per hour of the event so far. It's definitely making some steam. So now we're gonna see Team Mac and see if they can get a little bit quicker than 648. See if they can get a little more aggressive. Yeah, she's definitely building boost right there. Sounds good. Qualifier right there, 630 at 112 mile per hour.
We've seen a lot of good stuff there. Like, we were trying to crack a 5, but we made some changes coming in today to try to get the boost a little more under control, and I think it worked great. In 4 or 5 tenths ahead of everybody else right now, so if we just keep our stuff together, life's gonna be good.
Some guys, they try to play mind games, and if you're a good driver, you can just look past all that. I just focus on me. And that's what I think a good driver does. You focus on what it's going to take to get you down the track and not worry about the other drivers. A good driver, one, is not afraid to push the limits and not afraid to wreck and not afraid to blow stuff up.
We're gonna throw it in the back car to make weight. We're about 400 pounds too light right now.
Villain Squad is welding Homegrown's broken block into the back of the car for weight ballast.
We got an extra engine, a couple cylinder heads in there, brake rotors, all kinds of stuff going on.
We pulled the valve covers off of it, only to find that it had shattered the trunnions and like 70% of the valve train.
They're not gonna make the last lick.
We've certainly not had the experience that we thought we were gonna have.
This is what it all comes down to. Right here, right now, last round of qualifying, you have to try and get a better qualifying time because the ladder going into finals is dictated by qualifying ETs. So every single team needs to do everything they can to go as fast as possible this next round. Hopefully they make a good lick right here. This is the last qualifier.
Got a little squirrely, which is fine. I expected that.
Next is team out in front.
I made some changes in the computer and I was just really wanted to see if it worked. I didn't want to go too crazy. Like I said, I'm tuning it myself.
Sheesh, he's driving the wheels off that thing, dude, the whole way.
That was the plan, A to B, you know. I'm gonna throw a little more power at her again to see what it does.
Max lining up, here we go.
We had the fastest car already. We have a tune-up in it that's pretty damn safe, and we have the best driver out there.
Went at 634 at 111, so they're a little bit slower than they were before. They're tenths, like tenths and tenths ahead of the nearest team behind them.
As careless as we are with some things, we're very meticulous about other things. I got no problem with throwing the Hueys to her this pass.
So Homegrown, after swapping all their stuff, they found they had a bunch of rocker bearing problems. They had to replace all the rockers and the cylinder heads, and now they're out here trying to make it go onto the brake and trying to bring it up onto the converter and get the turbo to do something, and it just sounds like crap.
You know, out there it's cutthroat. They'll lie, they'll throw you off, they'll stab you right in the back. When I'm strapped in the car by myself, I've got the door closed. You don't know when that arm's gonna drop or the light's gonna come on. It's just a lot more risk, more wild.
We've built 4 cars. We brought 4 cars to the racetrack. We've got 4 cars going to first round. All cars are up to par. All cars are at minimum weight, and we're gonna roll into first round. Our first round pairings, Nick and Gio, and Puddin and Marcus will be our first pair out. You heard about this earlier in the week, whether you paid attention or not. You guys have qualified on a pro tree. Now, we will see instant green. The yellow bulbs remain in the tree, but all you'll receive is a pre-stage, a stage, and a green bulb. We'll see our first pair of cars. We'll go racing.
You take risks, but you gotta also know when enough's enough.
We know a 5.3 will make upwards of 900 horsepower with our combination.
It's a little different. It's a lot different vibes when you start going into eliminations because after this round, 2 teams are out.
was nervous because we really didn't have a clue what the car was going to do.
It's instant green. Anything can happen, man. You can guess and get lucky, or you can guess and get hosed.
As a drag racer, anybody that drag race knows, you know, can't never count nobody out.
Marcus, out in front, is moving on. And Team Homegrown, unfortunately, is out.
If the guy with the most power won every time you went down the racetrack, it wouldn't be any fun. We just didn't give her the car that she deserved to have, and you know, unfortunately, that's on us.
It went A to B. I wish we could have done that on Q1 and then had something to work with from there, but it just wasn't in the cards for us.
I went in there, put a little tune-up in there, I thought it worked. I went out there and came out on top on that round.
Nick versus Gio. Both 5.3 turbocharged power plants. Torque arm versus leaf spring with Caltrax.
We're just waiting on that one day karma or your bad luck's gonna happen, and I was just hoping it wasn't gonna be against those guys.
This is it. Yep, A to B, and then another A to B, and we take the 10 grand home.
They both sounded good and clean in the burnout. My heart's pumping, dude. It's pumping, it's going.
They have nothing to lose. They're going for a Hail Mary pass. If they pull one out of their ass, I gotta have a backup plan.
I mean, I told the guys I'm gonna drive the wheels off of it.
Team Mac just set a new ET record, 6:29 at 112. Gio went 7:39, and it's gonna be Team Mac and team out in front in the final, Marcus versus Nick.
Spinning ain't winning, and in no prep, the fastest car doesn't always win. Everybody gave it 110%. What more can you ask for?
If you don't know Philly, you're scared of Philly. In Philadelphia, people know us as you know, street racing guys, and they know when we come out to the street, we mean business. Out of all the street races I done had, I probably only lost a handful. They ban us out of, you know, certain races because, you know, they say we're too fast. Once I'm in the car, it is what it is. I'm focused. Nothing else matters. All I'm doing is looking at Bobby, listening to Bobby, whatever he wants me to do, where he wants me to put me in the groove. You know, he reads the road and he tells me, hey, this thing can take some power. I turn it up.
We're doing things that are supposed to be impossible. 10 days and 10 grand to build cars like this, it's not supposed to be done, but these teams make it possible. They work hard for 10 days with a super limited budget in a shop with tools they're not familiar with, and yet somehow we have race cars that are ready and are fast. It all comes down to this, right here, right now, in the final round.
Why we didn't get recess in school? Because we don't play. It's time to win this thing.
This is anybody's game. Team Mac, team out in front. Nick, Marcus, who's coming out on top? Who's going home with $10,000? Who's going home with their car? Who's going home with nothing? It's all gonna happen right here, right now. Is officially the Season 3 champions of the $10,000 drag shootout. What a race.
Yes! Woo! Hell yeah!
The official champions of Season 3 of the 10K Drag Shootout No Prep is Team Mac.
If you're gonna do what we do, you better love work and hate money.
Sometimes you're just looking at the finish line instead of how you're gonna get there.
Coming into this, we didn't know what we was getting ourselves into, you know. At the end of the day, I think we did really well having all the, you know, things against us.
We never would have thought we would have been on here.
There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it on the face of this earth. That's why drag racing is so important. Hopefully we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we're going street racing.